Good day, beautiful people. So a recent report card just came out on the child and family poverty in Nova Scotia. And it definitely doesn't look good. Now, this report is about 74 pages long. I'm not going to go over it in its entirety, just a few key points. But it's definitely enough to prove a certain mayor wrong when it comes to the current crisis in Nova Scotia. For some quick context, this report uses data pulled from the 2021 and 2022 census data. You can see all the references at the bottom of this report, which you can just simply Google the name and you'll find it. And of course, give props to the three authors who put this together. Let's pause to read. Some of the key focal points in this report card is the income insecurity, food insecurities, and housing insecurity, which in my opinion all kind of blend together because even if you're working full-time in Nova Scotia, the minimum wage is not keeping up to have a secure income, so that affects your food security and housing. It doesn't help that we have major corporations like Loblaws consistently inflating prices just to gouge you that bit more. Of course, we can't forget corporate landlords who have free reign in Nova Scotia to put up rent prices as high as they want with very little consequences. That alone shows really well in this report, since we're only supposed to be spending about 30% of our income on shelter costs, and people who are owners or renters are spending over that. 19% of the owners and 38% of the renters spending over 50% of their actual income. For those single parent families, you will really hit the hardest. This report also breaks down each division in Nova Scotia and the child poverty rate. Halifax sitting at 16,250 number of low-income children just in Halifax alone, which was an increase since 2021 of 14.2%. This is a perfect example of exactly why people are pushing to raise the minimum wage to at least reach the poverty line. Because it doesn't matter if you're a single parent of 1 to 2 children or a couple with 1 to 2 children. Your yearly income is still well below the poverty line. What's the point of calling it a minimum wage if it doesn't even reach the minimum standards? Those on income assistance are not better off either, with even that income ranging between $13,000 to nearly $19,000 below the poverty line. What can be done on this report card to actually lift people out of poverty? Well, they do give some suggestions, like investing in child and youth well-being and advocacy. Now, schools do provide those lunches I've discussed in prior videos, but certainly more needs to be done. So transforming on a fundamental level the child welfare and social assistance systems and teach people to not provide stigma, discrimination, or blaming individuals for simply using the system when they need help. To also stop removing children from households that may be lacking in certain things and putting them into foster care. Actually help those parents out so the parents can stay with their children and receive support. As a foster child myself, this really hits home for me. Another suggestion is improving affordability with public services, like extending the universal public health care to cover free access to prescription drugs, mental health, eye care, hearing aids, assistive devices and products, and harm reduction support for addictions and drug use. A push for affordable early learning and childcare province-wide that's accessible to all families and programs for those who are low-income families. Expand the funding to ensure inclusive public education for children with diverse needs. Of course, making the post-secondary education more affordable for those who want to take it. They also suggest doing a cost share of 50-50 with the municipalities for affordable public transit and free for children under 18. The Liberals are trying to run a campaign on free transit. This is probably the closest they're going to get to that idea. Then there's addressing the digital divide, where some low-income families actually can't afford to keep up with the rising cost of internet, so they don't have any internet in their home. Now, there is pockets of programs throughout Canada that addresses this and provides low-income families with these programs for cheap, affordable internet. We definitely need more of those across Canada. Now, the list does go on about a few more recommendations, but I don't get time to cover all of that. I highly recommend you guys check out this poverty report and tell me your thoughts about all of it in the comments down below.